Are you gearing up for back to school, but not just yet because you're trying to get as much as you can out of that summer break? Guys, we want to help you get your math and literacy centers in order before school starts. And we cannot wait to share with you some new things that we have in store in our Volume 2 year-long math and literacy center bundles. They are the companion to our wildly popular Volume 1 year-long math and literacy center bundles. And man, we've made some changes in Volume 2 that we think you're gonna like. So sit back and let's get started. What's kicking, educational rock stars? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Farah from Farah Henley Education, where I strive to bring you actionable tips, strategies, simple systems that actually work to take back into your classroom to make your teacher life a little easier and more manageable. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button so that you get notified when we go live or upload a new video here on the channel. If you're a returning educational rock stars, what's up, guys? I hope you are enjoying your summer. It is the end of June whenever I'm recording this, and I hope you're gearing up for back to school, but not just yet, because I want you to just get as much out of the summer break as you can, because let's face it, last year was crazy. And today I want to share with you how you can take your math and literacy centers to the next level and get some activities ready for you to use during your small group instruction. So we are going to take a deep dive behind the scenes into Volume 2 of our wildly popular year-long math and literacy center bundles. We are going to dive into what's included. Why did we come up with the Volume 2? We're going to just answer all the questions. We want you to stick around to the end as well, because we've got a little freebie to share with you so that you can get a really good peek at these K-5 centers if you don't already own them. So let's go ahead and dive into a couple of things. First off, why did we do a Volume 2? Well, Volume 1 was so popular and so wildly, man, teachers were going crazy over Volume 1. And let's face it, the biggest reason that teachers were going crazy over Volume 1 is because they're so stinking simple. We took math and literacy centers and we broke it down. Listen, after 20 years of doing math and literacy centers in my classroom, more than 20 years actually, I had finally figured out a system that was so stinking simple, and it works, and it actually uses math and literacy centers for the purpose that they should be used for. So with Volume 1, that's what we were striving for with our activities. We wanted to make sure that they followed our Easy Centers framework, and they do. And it was so stinking simple. Our students were showing growth. My students were just loving centers. They were working independently, and teachers were loving them. But there was one thing that so many teachers were asking for, and that was, and this is really the biggest thing and the biggest reason we decided to do Volume 2, they were asking for centers that didn't have holidays or themes in them. They didn't want the seasonal themes or the holiday themes, because here's the reality. When you're creating resources for your classroom, you can't, and as a teacher, author, and someone who creates resources, I can't know everybody's scope and sequence. I can't know what everybody teaches in October. I can have a general idea in the grade what they're teaching in October, but I can't know exactly. And maybe your group of students need more work on a certain standard than another group of students. So you're having to spend a little bit more time on that in October than, say, the teacher even next door to you. So there's no way to have a curriculum or a scope and sequence or activities in a certain order. There's no way to do that where it's going to be perfect for everybody. But what we did want to do, and we listened to so many of you amazing educational rock stars, so many of the amazing educational rock stars that are inside our Learning Centers Made Easy membership. And we listened, and you said, you know what? It would just be nice if they were not holiday themed, if there were no holidays or there were no seasons in them. So we were like, well, we can do that. Now, we did not just want to take what we did in volume 1 and just take out and change out clip art, because that doesn't do you any good, because now you've got the same centers and the same exact activities. That's not going to do you any good. So we went back to the drawing board and we said, you know what, if we're going to do this, we're going to create a whole new volume, then we want to make sure that we really get what these teachers need. So we jumped into our membership. We asked our members. We asked so many Educational Rockstars here on the FHE page, over on Instagram. We sent out emails. We were asking you guys for feedback on what are some things that you'd like to see. For the most part, you guys were like, they rock, they're awesome. There's not a whole lot that needs to change. So because of that, volume 1 is still available. And if you are a teacher who likes holidays and themes and seasons, and you want to be able to put like pumpkin centers out at Halloween and things like that, then volume 1 is for you. And it's packed full of those themed centers. But if you're a teacher who's like, I really don't want any themes, maybe I can't use themes in your class. Maybe you can't use themes in your classroom. Maybe it's just a matter of, you're not sure when you're going to be using a certain skill and things like that. So you want to be able to use it year round. Listen, there's all different kinds of reasons why you might not want themes and holidays in your centers. Then volume 2 is going to be where you want to go. So listen, we are going to get into exactly, I want to show you these. They're so super stinking cute. The team has been working so hard on them. We have dropped them. They are available. They will be a growing bundle over in our shop. So right now, if you go over there and you look at them, then they're all of the grade levels K through 5 all have August available. So August is in there. You can go ahead and start prepping them. And I'm going to add some links and things like that. I don't want you leaving yet. I'm going to add some links and things like that up in the description when we're done, because I'm going to show you kind of some tips and some things that I really, really love about these math and literacy centers. Let's talk about some of the features. Now, some of these features are going to apply to both volume 1 and volume 2, but I have gone ahead and I've got some things to show you here with volume 2. And because we are actually using this, the recording of this will actually go on to the podcast as well. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you obviously can't see what I'm showing, but we are going to leave some images and things like that in the show notes so that you can see as well. So be sure and jump over and check those out. Now, one of the things that I really love about our centers is that they are full of bright, colorful graphics. Now, we do our due diligence and we use the best quality clip art and images inside our math and literacy centers. And we kind of went over above and beyond on volume 2, because we really had to focus on finding, you can find cute clip art that's holiday themed, right? It's not hard to find cute clip art that is holiday themed. But when you're trying to stay away from the holidays, there's so much, it's hard to select. There's so much to choose from. So we really tried really, really hard to find really cute graphics that would be bright and colorful. And I just want to show you, this is one of the pages from one of our centers. And I've just printed these on paper, regular paper. Normally when I would print these for my classroom, they would be printed on cardstock, and I would get bright white cardstock, so they would be printed on cardstock, so those colors are really gonna pop. But just on regular paper, and that is so cute. I'm trying to make it focus on the screen. So cute. This is one of the cover pages. Now I'm gonna kind of go over some of the features of our centers as we go through this, but before I do that, let me just kind of list off some of the other features that kind of apply to everything. So some other features is bright, colorful graphics. We also have them available in each one of the bundles. You get access to the color version, but you also get access to a printer or an ink-friendly version that you can print out that's going to be black and white. So you're going to get access to that as well. You are also going to, and I'm going to dive in and show you a little bit behind the scenes here in just a moment. You also get access to the printable and the digital versions if you buy the bigger bundle. We do have the printable and digital separately, so if you're a teacher who doesn't need the digital or you don't need the printable, one or the other, then you can get just what you want. But we did bundle them together this time so that you could go get those as well. And we've done that for volume 1 as well are also, so that you could go get those. But you can get printable, they come in printable and digital format. And one of the things that I'm most excited about for volume 2 is that volume 2, we added boom cards. We added, volume 1 had Seesaw and Google Slides for their digital versions. So for volume 2, I still have Google Slides and Seesaw, but we said, let's take it up a notch, and we're going to add boom cards to the mix. So super excited about that. Both versions, you're still getting 10 ELA centers, 10 math centers every single month. Now with volume 1, we only took 8 of the centers and converted them to digital. But with volume 2, we converted all 10 every month to digital. So when you get the digital version, or if you get a bundle that includes the digital version, you can know that you're getting all 10 of them converted to digital on all 3 platforms. They are interactive, they're drag and drop, sometimes they're fill in the blank. I'm going to dive in and I'm going to actually show you behind the scenes here in just a moment. And the boom cards, the great thing about boom cards, and this is something that our members asked for, they were like, we'd love it if they were self-checking. That's what boom cards are. And so they're self-checking, and your students play them, and they're going to know immediately, get that immediate feedback. And depending on what tier you have on Boom is going to determine whether you can see like which cards they got wrong and all of the data and things like that. Now, like I said, there's no seasonal clip art. There's no holidays. Now we did do some cute little things, like we did a farm theme or things like that, but they're not specific to a specific month. And the reason we did that was because we wanted to make sure that you could use these centers year round. Now, granted, I say this in my membership all the time. When I was using the seasonal and the holiday themed centers, my kids did not care if I brought out a pumpkin center in the middle of March. They didn't care. The kids didn't care. If they needed to work on that skill and I brought out a pumpkin center, they did not care. They did not care at all. The other thing is, we decided that we wanted to get feedback from our members in all 6 grade levels, and we wanted to create a scope and sequence. So we wanted to try our very best. My computer's kind of going off. We wanted to try our very, very, very best to follow a typical, a general scope and sequence with the activities that are going into the centers. Now, with this disclaimer, we know we cannot match everybody's curriculum, but we did our research. We tried really, really, really hard to make sure that the skills that are included in all of the August bundles are going to be skills that students are going to need to kind of review to help them move on to the next skills that you're going to be teaching. We tried really, really, really hard to get it as close as possible. And this came from feedback from hundreds of teachers asking, what are you teaching in August, and all the grade levels and so forth. So we tried really, really hard. And just like volume 1, they are available for kindergarten through 5th grade in printable and digital. Now, one of the things that did change this year is our 5th grade for volume 1 is not available in digital yet. It is on the list to get converted to digital, but we did not convert to digital last year. But volume 2 is coming out digital from the beginning. So all 6th grade levels are going to be digital. Now, I'm going to stop talking about all the things, and I'm just going to kind of show you some of these centers, because I know everybody wants to see what do these look like. So let me just kind of show you some of the features that our centers have. So all of our centers have what I showed you before. They have a cover page. This cover page is going to have a cute little title, because the kids they're like, oh, we played veggie verbs this morning. So they love the cute little titles. And then it's also going to have a subtitle that's going to kind of show, it's going to be what the skill is. So this one, for instance, is irregular past tense verbs. Now, these are not intended for, these are the cute fonts. We're not worried about them being really like the kid-friendly fonts, because these are supposed to be cute. But we make sure that our directions are kid-friendly, and then the fonts that we put into the actual games, those are kid-friendly fonts that are going to be easy for them to read. So we use very easy script fonts. In fact, one of our main fonts that we use is a font that I actually created for my own students that's very print-friendly. So the students are, and kid-friendly, so they're going to be able to read it easily. But you're going to have directions that are going to be kid-friendly. Like this one just says, match the past tense verbs or excuse me, I can't read. Match the past tense form to the irregular verb. So very simple, very specific. And then it says record the answer on the exit ticket. That's the next thing that you're going to find that all of our centers come with. All of our centers come with an exit ticket. That is something that is extremely important, and making sure it follows our Easy Center framework is all of our centers come with an exit ticket. And I'm going to show you a little something here in just a second that's going to be, because listen, I know that teachers love these little things. This surprise I have for you, it's going to blow your mind, I promise. But exit ticket, where they can record their answers, because so many teachers, especially when they get into our Learning Centers Made Easy program, they're like, I just don't know how to hold my students accountable. Well, exit tickets can hold them accountable because they write their answers. And I'm going to show you kind of how our games, most of our games are set up here in just a second. The other thing that teachers asked for, they were like, I want to be able to run centers when I'm not there for a sub, or I want my kids to be able to check their centers and check their answers. We've included answer keys with all of our centers. So every center gets that exit ticket as well as the answer key. Now, if we go back to the page, you're going to see down here at the bottom, and if you're listening on the podcast, you'll need to jump over to the show notes, but down at the bottom, you'll see that there are standards listed. We list the Common Core standard as well as the TEKS, because we have a lot of teachers in our family and our LCME family that are in Texas, so they've got to have the TEKS. I often get asked, this is just a little tip, hey Farah, is there a way for you to take off the Common Core because I'm in Texas, and in Texas we can't display the Common Core? Listen, don't get me started. So they can only have the TEKS on there. So what we've done is we have them listed separately so that you can easily wipe that out. You can easily wipe that out and not have it listed on there. So easy. And the same thing if you're a Common Core, you can wipe the TEKS out if you can't have that on. If you have to have your state standard on there, it's not that hard. You can white it out, and we've left the area down there where you can write your state standard in. Those are the two main ones. So those are the ones that we put on the cover sheet. Now this cover sheet, and this is kind of like giving you a little peek, this cover sheet, the way that we like to store our centers or put them out for students is we just use a simple little Ziploc bag, and all three of these go inside the bag. Now, if you wanted to keep the answer key back because you don't want your students to have the answer key, feel free to keep that answer key out. We often put it in there so that our kids would have the answers if we wanted them to self-check. Otherwise, we would keep them in a different place where the students would actually be able to check their work after they did the center. But all of these get laminated. And I would normally laminate all three of these sheets. And the reason I would even laminate the exit ticket is because this becomes my master. If it's laminated, it becomes my master. I can easily stick it on the copier, and I can on the top, and I can run copies from the master, and it's laminated. I don't have to worry about losing my master and having to print another one. Some other ways that I've seen teachers do it is they just take a yellow highlighter and write master across it, because when you do that, the yellow highlighter won't show up when you make copies. But all of it goes in there. And then inside this, any copies I made for the students would also go in here as well. So we would just put those into the bag and keep them like this. Now, also inside the bag, our centers they're a game. That's the way we want to set our centers up. So they are a game. These centers are going to be games like matching games. That's one of the most popular ones, where you have a question on one card and you have an answer on another. They're going to be task card style. They're going to be clip cards where they're clipping an answer with a clothespin. We've got a couple that are like poke games where it's a task card, but down at the bottom there's 3 answers, and instead of clipping it, there's a hole that you've punched underneath each of the answers, and they poke it, and you can even turn it over because you can mark the correct answer on the back so they can actually check their answers. We've got lots and lots of games. And this is, right now I'm talking about our print centers. So I'm going to show you our digital centers here in just a second. But this particular center, this Veggie Verbs, is from October. So this is coming out, and I believe it is a second grade center. But it's in the October centers that are coming out. But this particular center is a matching game, and you are going to have question cards, and then you are going to have the little answer cards, and you can see that they're different sizes, so they're making matches. They're going to display these, and then they're going to write their answer. So for example, I believe it said to match the past tense form to the irregular verb. So the question would be was. There's the answer. So they would match these two together, and they would lay them on the table, and they would be matched together. And then they would take their answer key, or excuse me, not their answer key, their exit sheet, and they're going to match that, and they're going to write the answer right here, and then they're going to check it on their answer key, or you can check it on their answer key. But they've got all of these little answer pieces and all of the questions that they're just playing a simple matching game. Now, we like to keep these inside a sandwich size bag, and just keep this sandwich size bag inside the big bag. Gotta put this back in here, inside the big bag, just like this. And then this is the center. So if it needed pencils or anything like that, if they needed scissors for anything, or glue sticks or anything like that, if that was type of center, everything would go in here. Now, here is the thing that I wanted to share that I think is super awesome about our new Volume 2 Math and Literacy Centers. Because we have decided to narrow this down to because we want to follow our Easy Centers framework. We want to make sure that our centers have clarity and consistency in the style that they are for our students, so that our students can be successful and your students are going to be able to work independently. So we've narrowed this down to a few different types of games that are going to be in the centers. And we have tried, not all of them, but we have tried very, very hard. And I'm sure even the ones that aren't just right off the bat you can adapt them. And I'm going to kind of show you right now. And you can make them work. But most will fit inside these small little task card boxes. If you love these task card boxes, could you please, now if you are not, if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm talking about the 4x6 task card boxes that come in like the big container. And you can, and then there's like 16 of them inside the big container. So if you like to store and you want to store centers like this, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. Now, right off the bat, you're thinking, I just saw the big one in the bag. How in the world did you make it fit in here? Here's the trick. What I did was I printed it 4 pages, because when you get them in the download, they're going to print big like this. But if you go to your printer settings and you print 4 to a page, you can get them small like this, okay? And here's what it looks like. This is so stinking adorable. So what I did is on the front of the box, I went ahead and put the cover sheet, the same cover sheet that you see right here in the big version. If you're looking at the pictures on the show notes, you'll be able to see it. And then inside, guys, I stinking love this. Open the little thing. Look at this cute little center game. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I'm going to put this up here. Maybe the light won't be too bright. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I even have a little tiny exit ticket. Look, a little tiny exit ticket. The kids could write on that. Absolutely they could. So, and then here are the cards. Here are the cards. There's like keep, and you'd find, it's not focusing real well. Let's put it back here. And then the little bitty answer cards. Now, I've just got these printed on paper, so they're real teeny tiny. But here's the thing. I want to show you something. You could, and this is what blew my mind. You could, most of our centers, you could do this. You could print the cover ticket or the cover sheet, and you could print the exit ticket small like this. And if you went through your centers and actually chose just the cover sheets and the exit sheets and you printed 4 to a page, you could do that. And then you could print the cards regular size for each center, because the cards for the regular size for each center will fit inside. And I'm not taking them out of the bag, but they will fit inside the box as well. So you could do the teeny tiny little ones, or you could do the regular size cards. And there's your center. So if you wanted to do your centers like this, game changer. It's a little bit more work, prep work on your side, because you got to print them small and so forth. But I think this is so stinking cute. So stinking cute. All right. Now, I want to jump into and show you the digital versions now. So I'm going to go here, and you'll give me just a second. And don't forget, I've got the freebie coming at the end. So let me jump here. This first one I want to show you is, I don't want to show you that one yet. So obviously we have the Google Slides version of the center. I'm trying to move all these extra screens that you can't see out of the way. But we have the Google Slides version. This is a center from, I believe this one is from second grade as well. Might be from first grade, but I think it's from second grade. So this is an example. What we've done, I love what we did with our digital centers is we tried to make them match the printable versions of the centers as much as possible. So for example, this center that you're looking at on the screen right now, if it was printed, it would be one that you would use with clothespins and the students would clip the answer. So we tried to make the digital version match what the game would be, because what if you want your students to go back and forth between them, or maybe you've got students, we don't know what's going to happen this coming year. Maybe you're going to have students that are virtual, and you're going to have students that are in the classroom. Sometimes your students are going to get sick and you still want them to be able to do their centers, snow days, whatever the case may be. We wanted them to match as much as possible. So we've made all of our digital centers try to match their printable versions. So like on this one, what they would do is they would drag the answers, and these are just drag and drop. A band of musicians, and it's just running a little slow for me right now because I'm doing a live video, but it's not this slow whenever your students are running them, obviously. And I'm just going to reset them. There we go. So it's back. So drag and drop pieces, and we even included the answer or the exit sheet. Now, one of the things that we did differently on volume 2, we had so many teachers reach out and tell us we don't want the answer key in the digital version. Guys, we went back and forth on this, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to come back up here for just a second. We went back and forth struggling over the decision of, do we put the answer keys into the digital center or do we keep it out? We struggled and struggled and struggled over that decision, and we finally decided that we were not going to put them in the version that the students would be using, but we did include the answer keys and the printables, the exit sheet, as well as the answer keys in a PDF document inside the folder for on Google Drive. So whenever you get, if you get a bundle that has the printable and the digital, or you just get the digital, you will have access to those. So you could print the exit tickets and you can print the answer keys so that you will have those. But we had so many teachers that did not want them inside the centers anymore. So you didn't have to go in there and delete it or anything like that. But there is an exit ticket here. They don't have to use the exit ticket if you just want them to use the game and you're just going to check the game. The exit ticket is mainly there, so it's easy for you to grade. Easy for you to grade. All right, so let's jump over to Seesaw. Here is a Seesaw center. You can see that it is a drag and drop center. Again, I'm having to move all these. It is a drag and drop, and they would just simply match these to the right game. We also included the exit ticket in this as well. So I'm going to put that back. Let's put that back down there. We also included the exit ticket. If I come over here, you can see that the exit sheet is there as well, and they can fill those out. We put the text boxes in and so forth. So Google Slides and Seesaw, if you're familiar with Volume 1, you are familiar with how those work. Now, let's jump over to what I'm really, really excited about, and that is Boom Cards. So on Boom Cards, what we did was we went through and we tried, and sometimes we had to adjust the way the center works. Most of the time it's pretty identical. We tried really, really hard to make them match what the student would see in the printable version, but this is just so much fun. So they would drag these to the correct places, say the name of the word, and drag them. And this is one that we're currently working on, so I don't believe that I've checked it yet. So let's hope that we have everything connected right. But then when they hit submit, it's going to tell them if they got them correct or not. And we are so excited about this. And again, they're matching. Let's see. Branch, draw, and crab. And go. So it works just like that. Super simple. There aren't a lot of, because we've tried to put a couple on each page, sometimes a center might only have like 3 or 4 slides, but there's multiple answers on the page to keep the student engaged. But again, they're self-checking, and you should be using these in centers. So they shouldn't take them more than 10 to 15 minutes to complete. All right, guys, I am so excited that I got to share kind of a deep dive behind the scenes with you today. Now, I told you, if you stuck around, I had a little freebie for you. If you want to tap on the link that I just dropped, you can get a free sample of a digital center and a printable center from every single grade level, so that you can dive in and you can see, and I believe we pulled these from August, so you can dive in and you can see the format and make sure that they're perfect for your students, which we know they will be perfect for your students because they follow our Easy Centers framework, which is hugely and wildly successful and transforming classrooms all over. It's what I used for more than 20 years in my own classroom to make sure that my math and literacy centers ran flawlessly and smoothly, and they were my favorite part of the day. I was able to teach in small groups with no interruptions, and my students actually worked independently. So we have made sure our centers follow that framework, and we know that you're going to love them as well. Now, if you're looking for more tips, strategies, and simple systems to take back into your classroom to make your teacher life easier, check out the videos on your screen. Thanks for watching, and keep being educational rock stars.